The hallway was unusually quiet for a Friday morning. Most students were already in class, the final bell moments from ringing, but just outside room 27, 4 kids stood in a circle 3 smirking. One silent, Tiana Blake, a quiet, smart 14-year-old girl with deep brown skin and tight braids, stood at the center. Books clutched to her chest, eyes on the floor, voice trembling. Asterisk, I said, one of the boys growled. She didn't answer. That's when it happened. He shoved her hard. Her books hit the floor. First, then her elbow, then her knees. The slap of her palms echoed through the corridor. Her backpack spilled open, pens rolling like dropped marbles across the tile, and they laughed. Asterisk from around the corner. Someone gasped. Asterisk, Ella Monroe. A white girl in the same grade watched the scene unfold, eyes wide with shock and anger. Her hands trembled, not with fear, but with rage. Asterisk Ella had known Tiana since the first grade. They weren't best friends, not exactly. But they shared science class, traded books sometimes, and once got detention together for laughing too much in gym. Tiana didn't deserve this. And what made it worse? No teacher was around. No cameras. Just the 3 boys and 2 girls walking away like they had won something. Asterisk Tiana sat on the ground, staring at her scraped hands, refusing to cry. Ella clenched her fists. Asterisk 10 minutes later. The bullies strolled into the cafeteria like kings and queens of the school. No one stopped them. They high-fived, bragged about teaching that smart-mouth girl a lesson. That's when Ella stood up. Hey, she shouted. Heads turned. The ringleader Kyle sneered. What do you want, Monroe? Asterisk Ella walked up to him, chest rising, fists clenched. What you did was disgusting. Asterisk, what, you gonna cry for her now too? He laughed. Asterisk, no, Ella said, voice steady. I'm done staying quiet. Then she did something no one expected. She dumped her tray of cold spaghetti and chocolate milk straight on Kyle's head. The cafeteria gasped. Asterisk for a second. Everything froze like a movie on pause. Then chaos. Kyle jumped up, furious. Slipping in sauce, his friend scrambled. A teacher rushed in. Phones came out. But Ella didn't move. Asterisk. She didn't do anything to you, she said, loud and clear. You hurt her for no reason. I'm not letting you get away with it. Kyle lunged, but the teacher grabbed his arm just in time. Asterisk Tiana heard about it within minutes. She was sitting in the nurse's office, her knees bandaged, when the receptionist leaned in and said, I think your friend just stood up for you. Asterisk Tiana blinked. Ella. Asterisk the nurse smiled. That's the one. Asterisk Tiana sat back. For the first time that morning, she didn't feel so alone. The principal's office was tense. Kyle and his crew fidgeted in their seats, while Ella sat, calmly, face still flushed from adrenaline. Tiana was brought in shortly after, accompanied by her mom. Asterisk the principal, Mr. Carter, rubbed his temples. I've seen the footage. Ella, I admire your courage. But pouring food over a student isn't exactly the way to solve problems. Neither is knocking someone to the ground and humiliating them in public, Ella replied. She started. Kyle interrupted. Asterisk, she didn't say a word to you, Tiana said firmly, voice strong now. You didn't like that she got better grades, that she ignored your jokes, that she didn't play your game. Kyle looked away. The school launched an immediate investigation. Witnesses came forward, students who had seen the bullying, heard the slurs, or had been targeted before. Asterisk, it turned out. Tiana wasn't the only one. Asterisk, over the next few weeks, the administration worked hard to change what had been ignored for too long. Asterisk, an anti-bullying task force was formed. Teachers received training, students were encouraged to speak up, new cameras were installed, and Kyle suspended, along with the others. But that wasn't the end of it. Ella became an unexpected voice at school. Not loud, not a hero, but someone who had drawn a line and made it clear it wouldn't be crossed again. Asterisk Tiana began speaking up. More too. She joined the student council and helped organize a diversity panel with students from all backgrounds. Asterisk at their first event. Ella and Tiana sat on stage together. Asterisk, I used to think being silent kept me safe, Tiana said. But silence is just permission for bullies to get louder. Asterisk, Ella added, it doesn't matter what you look like. What matters is whether you stand up when someone's being pushed down. Their friendship grew not out of pity or guilt but respect. Asterisk, they still laughed in gym, still exchanged books. But now, they also walked together with purpose. Other students followed. Asterisk months later, Tiana found a note in her locker. It read, thank you for not staying quiet. You made me believe I mattered. J asterisk. She never found out who Jay was. But she folded the note and kept it in her backpack. Asterisk. It's just in case she ever forgot the power of standing up. Final message. Asterisk. Sometimes the fight against cruelty doesn't need fists. It needs voices. One girl was pushed down. Another stood up. Asterisk. And in that moment, everything began to change. Because courage isn't about skin color, it's about choosing to do what's right, no matter who's watching. Asterisk.